a little series where I dig into my closet of shame. I pull out an old paper collection and I make something fresh and new with it. It's designed to encourage us to use up our scraps. So today we're going to make a quick and easy card with French Flea Market from Julie Nutting. I don't know when this collection came out exactly, but I remember falling in love with the shabby chic images and style of this paper. So I bought it and promptly put it away in the closet of shame and forgot all about it. And because it's summertime and I'm doing a little clean out, I found it the other day and thought, I really need to put this to use. So that is what we're going to do. We are going to make a 5x7 top fold card with a 1/4 inch spine. Now, if you've never made a 5x7 top fold before, let me just show you very quickly. What I do is I cut from one sheet of 8.5 by 11 paper to 5 by 8.5 inch panels. Then you can see right here where I've overlapped this about 1/4 inch and just glued it together to make one big long paper panel. I score at 7, I score at 7 1/4, and then I fold that and score again at 7, and this part flips up and becomes a pocket on the inside. So this is a really great way to make an unexpected card for a friend. These cards double as gifts. I've already done the inside in the interest of time. So the top is actually a little flip page. And the way you do this, instead of cutting my paper just under 5 by just under 7, I went ahead and cut this panel. This was just a piece that was left from other pieces I'd cut. This is 8 inches wide, and then I scored it at just under 5, and that makes our flap. Then I took this little border piece, I tucked it back behind this large panel and adhered it there, added a magnet here, covered that with a little sticker tag, and then placed a magnet there, covered it with another little sticker circle, and that makes this really fun flip closure. So then over here, I added a journal card. I tipped it vertically, so you can now write a message here, and then dressed it up with some little stickers. And you could, I just left it like this. You could put a pocket here and add a tea bag, but I decided not to this time. Then down here on the bottom, our pocket is dressed up. I added gussets to the side, which are basically just folded strips of paper that you put in with the fold to the outside edge so that you have a lovely pocket. And then I used a 3x4 image to make a little gift card wallet. And you could also tuck a tea bag in here, write a message up here. So that's the inside of this card. And the seam is on the back. Now we're going to make the cover. For the cover, I started with a 5x7 piece of this very delicate floral pattern. Then I cut 2 pieces from the designer paper. I did a 4x5 of the toile and a 3.5 by 5. I think this is also 5. Let me double check. Yeah, of this soft script paper. Now, I will just tell you, layering patterned papers, I know a lot of folks struggle with that. And what you want to do is find papers that don't compete with one another. So because this is such a tiny print, it works great for the background. This toile is a larger print, but it's a very neutral shade, so it doesn't compete. And then this beige script panel is so fine that it really almost acts like a solid. And you can see I just inked along my edges, and then I stitched around the edges of this on my sewing machine just to frame it and kind of set it apart from the background. This is something I do often when I don't want to mat individual layers. I find that stitching around them substitutes really well for a mat. So then I wanted to add some shaped elements, and I went into my dies, which are also in my closet of shame, and I found these 2 amazing paper grace. This one is the Picot Petite circles, and this is Picot Petite ovals. And I used this oval for the background piece, paired up with this circle. So the second to the largest of both of these. Now you can see I've brought in a bolder pattern here with this oval, and that works because I'm putting this very neutral muted pattern over the top of it, so nothing gets overwhelmed. I backed these with dimensionals. You can use foam tape, or as I did, you can use waste chipboard, just to add some dimension and depth to the card design. So now we're just going to put this down right about here. Oops, make sure I got this straight. That shifted a little bit. There we go. All right. Then I took one of the circular stickers from the sticker sheet, and I didn't like what it said in the middle, so I took this one that says, "Hello, Gorgeous." This also picks up on the pinks, and I paired it with this Reneabouquets beautiful board. I backed these with a little foam tape. We're going to put that down in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. These are Reneabouquets rose corners. Aren't they gorgeous? And I backed these with double layers of foam tape because we have to get up over the top of these dimensional die cuts. And I'm just putting a little bit of adhesive on those delicate leaves and flowers. And this is going to sit right here. Now we can bring in our focal image. I'm going to put just a little adhesive on her shoes. And she's going to be right here standing in the roses. How fun is that? Isn't that pretty? And then this little corner piece also I did with foam adhesive. Oops, and this is going to go up here in this top corner. So what have we done? We have framed the image. We have framed the image with these beautiful roses, and it just draws the eye right to our focal point. And I'm thinking I might need to put just another little piece of foam tape on the back of this corner because it's not sitting quite level. And I should have done that from the beginning. Let's see, we might be in trouble here, or we might be okay. Yeah, we're okay. So I'm just going to stick this extra piece of foam tape in there and then reset that so that this sits level. I didn't like the way it was shimmying around. So there, much better. And you can see how this element comes down and touches this. That it's important. Well, I feel like it's important for things to touch on a project. I feel like it just makes it feel more coherent. Like I could have put these corners way up top and bottom, but that draws the eye away from the central image. And what you want to do is draw the eye into the central image. So then I dug into my flowers and I found these little birdie Fiona pearl pink. Aren't they gorgeous? They have just a tiny bit of sparkle on them. And they come with the foliage, but I didn't want a big long piece of foliage. I just wanted small pieces. So I broke this one leaf into 3 parts, and I'm going to put one leaf right here. And then see how these are? I just bend them and I make them go the way I want them to, because you can, because why wouldn't you? And we're going to put that one right there. And this one, we're going to put right here. So now we're going to layer these down into this corner. And I put the big flower down first. Whoops, I've got some glue webs trailing along here. That's always fun. So this one's going to go like this. Then this little one is going to tuck sort of under and alongside so that the leaf is up here at the top. And then this one is going to tuck right along the bottom. And I don't want to cover up her shoes, but I do want this to kind of curve in toward her, which also frames her in the design. Grab another glue stick here. Then I tied, where did I put that? Here it is. I tied just an iridescent string bow, and I fold this back. I put glue on the knot, and then I just kind of lift this and tuck that in there. Take the point of your scissors and push it into place. So that goes down into this corner. Then up here in this corner, I've tied this coral rose houndstooth bow. This is a double loop bow. And again, I'm just going to put my glue on the knot, and I want this to come in just like this. And while that glue is setting, I kind of go in with my fingers and fluff the bow. I call this fluffing the bow, so that the loops are pretty. All right, there we go. And then I pull those tails out. Then I tied another string bow. But before I put that down, I took two of these adorable little vintage charms, and I looped them through. This is a little purse and a little heel. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive right here on my knot, and I'm going to set this down in there like that. And then once that glue has set, I'll cut the tails off. So now I've got my string bow. I'm going to do the same thing, fold it, put the glue, whoops, my glue stick fell out. Put the glue on the knot, add it to the top, and I'm just going to kind of fuss these around so that they look the way I want them to. Okay. Now this is set, so I can come in and snip. And then I threaded one of my mother of pearl buttons to go on the top. I love these guys. So that's just going to sit right there. And then for down here in this corner, just to balance out the design, I've threaded 3 medium-sized pearl buttons. And these are going to go right down here in this corner. So let's take a minute and talk about design. We talked about choosing patterns that kind of flow into one another. So large patterns, small patterns, you want to pair those together. Then you want some neutral patterns in there, which I've actually mostly covered up now. I'm famous for that. And then just this decorative edge adds interest, framing our image with our die cuts, with our chipboards, and our flowers and bows. And the eye is drawn right into the center. This balances this, but it also creates a diagonal line and like a right triangle. Do you see this? And anytime you do this in card design, your eye, your brain tells your eye, take in the whole thing. It tells you to look in all the corners. And then see, we've mimicked that here. So you actually end up seeing all the elements in the card. So even though there's a lot going on, you don't miss out on anything. And then the last thing I always do is glue my card cover to my card front, because that way my card cover does not get messed up while I'm working on the inside. I actually usually build my card cover, set it to the side, then go in and finish the inside of the card. So that's it for Throwback Thursday. I hope I've shared some tips and tricks that you can use the next time you go to make a card with some of your favorite old card collections. If you haven't subscribed, you can hit the subscribe button below. Please give me a thumbs up because that helps. That tells YouTube people like my channel and they help funnel more people to my channel. And that way we get to have, the more the merrier. All right, guys, thanks for joining me for Throwback Thursday. I'm going to go get my craft on. Bye.